What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another run here on American Truck Simulator. Today we have the Jazzycat pack in front of us today. On back with that one is the telehandler, Skytrack right there. This is a very nice pack here from Jazzycat. This is his trailer and cargo pack. And this is, I believe, the first trailer I have hauled under that pack here. And it's a nicely done pack. I've already seen a couple of trailers parked next to where I was picking up a load, or I've already seen it on the road as well. And nicely done. 3-axle right there. Unfortunately, there's really no real heavy loads with these. I think the heaviest is, you see it over there, just on the other side of that barn, is that excavator, and that's going to be about it. Still, so far, if you want to do something that's going to be a heavy load, you're going to have to use one of the European versions of the pack. There we go. Turn that off. Be easier to talk to you guys about. I don't have to talk over the sound of the engine. So we get to try this pack out today. It's a little long. I've moved this trailer already, and I've noticed that I'm going to have to take turns a little differently, it seems, than if I had a regular trailer on. Also, a couple of changes here on the Pete. Angled 8-inch stacks. Got rid of the fatties and the straight pipes and went with the 8-inch angled bullhorn. And not too bad. Also, look at the mirrors. I didn't notice this before. Usually when I'm working on the truck and if I want to change anything in the truck, I'm looking at it from this angle. And at this angle, the little circles don't show up for the mirrors. I was over on this side, and suddenly I noticed there was circles for the mirrors. So, okay, I'm going to add those on. So I got the round amber LEDs, or whatever they are. I also made a change on the back of the truck here. You can see the headache rack. Took the turn signals off the top corners. Only left it. I replaced them with the minis, and then I moved the turn signals from the top corners just inside there. So those two lights on the inside top row, on either side, those are the turn signals. And of course the truck's not running, so it won't none of it. Oh, there we go. So still easy for anyone that might be on the road to see. Of course, with the AI in this game, it doesn't really matter. Other than that, oh, I made one other change too. I went with the diamond plate around the fifth wheel here. So got rid of the wire mesh, and I went with the diamond plate. It extends a little further up, so figured that nice little touch, and should look pretty. I think altogether it looks pretty nice. I can go either way with the stacks, honestly. Now, also with a truck like this, if there is a smoke mod out there for the stacks that works with this 389, it is legitimate here because you do not see an extra tank anywhere for DEF. And this is not a regen truck either because you don't see anything underneath the passenger step. There's no pipes or tanks anywhere. This is a legitimate, straight up, old school truck. So that exhaust is going from the motor straight out to the tip. This is where you can, if there is an option for it, see smoke coming out of the pipes here. These newer trucks, you're not going to see that, as I've said before. If you do, then there's a problem with the exhaust, and the guy's probably close to, having a $10,000 or $20,000 bill to repair the damn system. So, with that said, it's time to get on the road. Today's load, starting off over here in Fresno, barely, on the northwest side of it, going up to Reading to Bittman, and weighing 27,000 pounds, not paying much, $7,500, but I've got a nice window to go ahead and deliver it off. I should be good to go in fuel. I shouldn't have to worry about resting. With that said, I'm going to be there in 8 hours. I forgot to mention I made one other change. I still do have an 18-speed transmission in here, but part of the transmission pack that I have from Steam introduces like 120 different transmissions. I also have another one that is supposedly for the Peterbilt as well. So this is still an Eaton Fuller transmission. It's an 18-speed transmission as well, but the final, or the gear ratio, is 3.70. So the gears are a little taller, because that was my main complaint with the last transmission I had. I just couldn't get top speed. So now I'm hitting 60 miles an hour in 8 low, which is going to be plenty of gear left for me when I go to Nevada and get into the higher speed limits. You know, and I noticed there isn't much I can get past you guys either. That last video I did with the 20-foot container, it was noticed, and I completely missed it. The container changed from the time I picked it up to when I dropped it off. It was a completely different company. So good eye on that one. You know, that kind of goes along with the whole way that the FedEx vehicles, when they pull up alongside me, and then when they get past me finally, they go from FedEx to white trucks. Now, of course, with the different stacks, it does not change the way the sound is. It is mainly an aesthetic piece, nothing more. I almost went with the painted straight pipes, but decided no, I don't think I've ever seen a truck on the road that has painted pipes. So decided to stay away from that one. Wabash here is kind of killing me, so time to go around them. Now I've got another truck here in mind I'm going to do for the Sunday test drive. It's going to be, I'll tell you right now what truck it's going to be, but that's as much as I'm going to tell you. It's going to be a Volvo 670, I think it is, or is it a 660? I forget exactly who it is. Like a Bath or a Both makes it. So I don't remember if it's a 660 or 670. But it is going to be a Volvo. I am going to be test driving. It's my first time behind the wheel of a Volvo. The only thing I know about them is I've had drivers complain to me about how their gearing is great when you're in the open road, but as soon as you get into any hills, you're shifting gears. You know, so you can throw it in that final gear and just cruise, and the RPM stays low. There's not a lot of cabin noise and everything else. But as soon as you start getting in any hills, and you know, not just the little hills that we encounter around here, but decent hills where maybe you're going up and down, you know, 100 feet or something like that, getting into some river valleys and things like that, then you're going to have to start changing gears, whereas other trucks, you might not have to do that. So a couple of drivers I used to work with who drove the Volvo loved the truck except for the transmission. They said, if we, like a hill right here, you're dropping a gear. Whoa, dude, cut me off, why don't you? Next time you're going to lose your rear bumper. You know, the gear is perfect, but for cruising speeds, but it's just geared too low, and that's their only complaint on the vehicle. So we'll see how it works here when I get a trailer hooked up to it and we go for a run. Hopefully I can get it to work correctly. I really haven't been able to do a full test on it just yet, since I just downloaded everything last night, and I do work a regular 8-hour job, hour and 15 minutes one way to work, so I'm in the car for 2.5 hours at least every day, going back to and from work. So it kind of does cut into the game time, especially when I have to consider spending time with the wife, and on top of that, the NHL play. Oh, kiss my ass. On top of that, the NHL playoffs are going, and I am a Blackhawks fan, so unfortunately they are down to the St. Louis Blues right now, 3-1. They do play tonight as I'm recording this, so I'm hoping to get all this done and start the rendering process when the game starts, so that way I can give it my full attention. By the time you guys see this, it could all be over and the Blackhawks could be breaking out the golf clubs. Who knows? Hopefully that's not the case and they can rebound here against the Blues and continue on looking to repeat their championship. But you know what? Honestly, I might be a diehard Hawks fan, but I do have both feet planted firmly on the ground here, and if they continue to play like they played in Game 4, they will lose, and I'm not going to cry about it. They deserve to lose, because the way they played in Game 4 was just horrible. It was like they were skating around as if they were still in practice. And you're not going to win very many games when you skate around like that. So, if you guys, if you're not a fan of hockey, my apologies. I'm not a fan of basketball, and every time I hear people start talking about basketball, my eyes glaze over. I'm not a major fan of baseball, although I do support the Chicago White Sox. And so that means if there's any Cubs fans on my subscriber list, they probably just unsubscribed. But my wife is a Cubs fan. So, if I can marry a Cubs fan, then I think any Cubs fans here who are getting ready to unsubscribe can give me a chance. But I'm not a big baseball guy. Football, that's number 2 on my sports list. So if I had to rank them, it'd be hockey, then football, then probably baseball, then basketball, and unfortunately, since I'm only going to list off 4, I had to put it in 4th. But in all honesty, I'd rather put it down to 6th or 7th. I'd probably rather watch cricket. Changing the subject, this is a new off-ramp here. No more turn lane crap and slowing down because of invisible construction. That is one of the things added by the map mod, and I am going to venture to say that was MHA Pro that did that one. Are you gonna pull me in here, buddy? Nope. That's also another nice feature that they've done here. Now you got people parking back there. You can actually take a nap back there, and that's how it actually goes. It is way stations actually double as rest areas for trucks. Guys don't usually like to park there though, because when they pull out, they're most likely gonna have to go and roll across a scale, and they don't want to deal with that. But that's how it is sometimes. If there's no rest areas around, and you gotta park, you gotta park. There are no facilities normally, at least here in Illinois, there are no facilities for drivers to use. So once you park there, you're on your own. You don't even have a vending machine at your disposal. But there have been times where on the road in the morning, I've seen, a full parking lot back there. Because guys were just taking a nap or whatever. Oh, my wife has to rub it in. I'm texting her right now, because she's on her way home and she's getting Taco Bell, and I haven't had dinner yet, and she's not going to be home for another hour and 15 minutes. So alright, do I want to jump off here, or do I want to continue north up to Reading? Screw it. Yeah, I'll jump off here. I hate how this map advisor has you jump off here when you're going to Reading. You're going to the car dealership or something, and what does it have you do? It has you jump off here, then take... Oh. I hate it when they do that. Let's end the lane just a couple hundred yards away from an off-ramp. Why not just extend it to the damn ramp, making an exit-only lane? God, I don't know where to start with that one. They've done that here in the suburbs around Chicago. I-80, for example, at US 30, has an interchange like that. The right-hand lane going westbound on I-80 ends, and we're talking 300 yards before the exit for US 30. And every day in the afternoons, like clockwork, traffic jam, because everyone likes to wait until the last minute to get over. And seeing it's the left-hand lane that ends, you know, what they could have done and what they should have done is taken the left-hand lane and kept it as the regular left-hand lane, and the right-hand lane should be the exit-only lane for US 30. But, you know, that's obviously too much use of common sense there, I guess, for the state of Illinois. Or whoever designed the new change in the road. I mean, is that a requirement when you go to work for the state or the municipality? You know, common sense, just leave it at home? Yeah, see, I was better off just going all the way up to Reading and jumping off there. Yeah, what the hell? I'm dropping off. Oh, it's right up here. Okay, but it's on the backside. I see. Parking in the good old pen with the freaking... Oh, nice. They put a drop deck right there in front of me. Well, this will be interesting, folks. Whew. That's a long way to go. Yeah, it would be great if I could just turn my head and look out through the back window there, but no. It still has to pretend that there's a sleeper there. feeling I'm way off. Yes, but I think I can save it. Let's try it one more time. Now that trailer in front of me is not part of Jazzycat's pack. That is part of another one I've recently downloaded. I'm drawing a blank here. It's like US trailers or something. And it basically replaces the stockers for more realistic drop decks and things like that. And I just completely screwed it all up, didn't I? Okay, well, like I said, you don't get points for style. It's in there. Works for me. So there we go, folks. Made it in there. Hopefully, you guys like the look of the truck as well. I'm kind of digging it. But yeah, I think I might leave it that way for now. And of course, the transmission worked great. So I'll do what I can to get the mods linked in the description, and I'm still working on putting together a list of mods for you guys as well, so you can see what I have in here, and I'm going to try to figure out a way I can separate what's active and what's not. I believe for the most part everything is active, but you know, when I want to take a certain grouping of loads, I'll deactivate something. So like right now, the Roadmaster overweight pack is deactivated, so it thins out the herd, the choices that I have, so it makes it easier to find a load that I want to handle. So like in this case here, I wanted to actually go east towards Arizona, but you know, going up to Redding, okay, I'll take that one. So that is it for now, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love that you've given these videos, all the views, and all the likes and the shares that you guys have continued as well. The jump in subscribers is awesome as well. I'm glad you guys are appreciating what I'm putting out, and I'll keep on putting them out as long as you guys keep on watching. So until next time, take it easy.